If you didn't stay up late this weekend, I understand, but you missed one of the absolute wildest softball series I've seen in a long time. And our guest today was part of the absolutely momentous results for BYU. Welcome, Lily Owens, to the 1012 softball show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thrilled to have you today. I mean, one massive comeback win is one thing. Two in a row in a rivalry series against your hated rivals, Utah. I mean, it's been a couple days, but still, how what was that weekend like? I mean, not just once, but twice to come back from big deficits, have walk-off victories over a rival who you haven't played a conference series against since 2011. I mean, just what was the feeling there in the locker room after this weekend?
I've been trying to really think about a word to describe this whole weekend, and I could only come up with it was just unbelievable and undescribable. Was honestly how it felt all weekend.
I mean, that it just. I want to talk about Friday first because you had the game-winning hit on Friday to get that massive extra innings from behind win. What was the mindset there on Friday? You guys are down big, mount that comeback, tie it up, go to extra innings, and then you walk into the square, walk up to the plate, and hit the game winner. What was your mindset in that moment as you got into the square?
It was honestly really simple. I mean, we work all season on hitting runners in and runners in scoring position and, how to shorten up your swing and what to do in those situations. And in all honesty, it couldn't have been handed almost an easier moment. There was no outs. Bases were loaded. All I had to do was kind of hit it hard somewhere. So they handed me a perfect situation.
But still, like that's a lot of pressure there in that moment. But it's just so wild to me. It's not just to do it once. Like you have, kind of times where you can have massive comeback wins, right? Like we see it happen now and then. You don't expect a team to actually pull it off, but you guys in game one score 4 in the bottom of the 7th to tie it up, and then of course you hit the game winner, and then on Saturday to be down big again. Utah scores 6 runs at the top of the 7th. They're up 8-1. And you guys score 9 in the bottom of the 7th. To do it once is incredible. To do it 2 games in a row. What was it like on Saturday? To have already been down in that situation once, and now to find yourself, you've just given up 6 runs. It's the bottom of the 7th. You got 3 outs. Like, oh no, we've got to do this again. Like, what's that mindset? What are you guys talking about there as you're preparing to go and try and come back again?
It was really just, whose house is this? Like, we're going to defend the fort. Like, we're going to put it down right now, and we're going to win this game no matter what it takes. Like, we were not going to lose to Utah. We had fought the entire game. We'd come back, and I think yesterday or the day before had really sparked something in all of us that if we could do it once, we could do it twice, and it was no big deal. And we were all really, really certain that this was nothing crazy for us. We could do it.
Who's the voice in those situations? Is it Coach Eakin? Is it another coach? Is it a player? Like, who's the voice in that situation where you're all standing there like, we've got to go out here and do this? Who's the one leading the charge there on this team?
I think it's a really player-led team. We're really unified. We really play for each other. We've really become sisters, and I think everybody is kind of just like in it to win it together, and we're going to do whatever it takes for one another. And we're all kind of that voice to just push further and go harder.
That's awesome. I feel like honestly, like that's a coach's dream is like you're gonna do if you've done your job right, you've prepared the team to be able to handle those situations like almost on their own without you to some extent. And I think that's a great sign of a great coach, and I certainly think Gordon Eakin is a fantastic head coach. This is your second year at BYU. First year was freshman season at Lehigh. Your second year with Coach Eakin. What's it like playing for him?
It's awesome. I really have a lot of respect for Coach Eakin. He actually recruited me out of high school. Things just didn't align at the time, and I had to go somewhere else. And the second I entered the transfer portal, he was there waiting for me, and I really couldn't ask for a better coach to play for in my last, 2 years and 3 years. And
That's
I massively respect him.
that's great. Hey, and that's it's always interesting. He was the first one to call you into the portal. We the transfer portal being such a big part of college athletics now, and the authenticity of relationships, right? Everyone's got different goals when they enter the portal. Fans want to get mad about, well, they're just in it for the money. But I mean, obviously, everyone has different reasons for why they want to leave one school and go to another. But how much did Coach Eakin and the coaches there at BYU kind of maintain a relationship with you while you were at Lehigh for your freshman season?
Um, I was very, very focused on taking my first year and really making something of myself. I came out of high school a smaller scale player, and wasn't always looked at as the number one recruit for a lot of schools. And my best friend at the time, Ilana Ogbayani, who's now at Oklahoma, um, was really keeping them in the loop with everything that I was doing. So they never really approached me and kept everything very respectful and how it should be have gone. But Ilana Ogbayani was like my behind the scenes, like, hey, Lily's doing this, Lily's doing that. Like, make sure you're ready. She's going to be in the portal soon.
That's
So,
good. It's good to have a cheerleader in your corner. That's fantastic. It's that authenticity is so important when you're looking for a home, right? And especially transfer portal. I'm always curious when you're coming out of high school. There's so many decisions to make it such a big decision. That what's the difference for you between when you chose Lehigh out of high school versus when you went into the portal and chose BYU? Like, it's obviously very different situations, but what was that transition like for you?
I mean, I was a completely different person coming out of high school. And then after my first year of college, I was able to mature in ways that I never thought were possible. And I saw a lot of things that I wish I would have seen when I was in high school, but I was young. So that kind of was out the window. And I really, really looked for a place where I could call home and a family. That was my biggest goal when I hit the transfer portal. I promised myself, I was like, I'm going to transfer and I'm going to go somewhere that I feel like I have a family and I'm not going to leave. And I'm going to be there for the rest of the 3 years. And when I graduate and I walk across the stage and I get my diploma, I'm going to be proud of where I got my diploma from, my degree. And I'm going to have a great rest of my 3 years. So coming to BYU, they preach family here. They preach togetherness, they preach unity, and the atmosphere is just, it's so amazing. And I wouldn't have picked anywhere else, honestly.
That's great. It's always good to feel like you've truly found home. Look, you're having a great season this year. Career high 397 batting average. What your batting average has increased every single year, but I mean, having a great year so far. What do you credit to your continued development?
Just maturity, honestly. I've just become a lot smarter with the game. Every year I take it and challenge myself, and I tell myself that I'm every year that I've been in college, I've been put in a new role. Um, I haven't really been a leadoff hitter before, and this year I am, and I really challenged myself to be a successful leadoff and be the starter for the team and a spark plug every game. And the results of that are amazing. But I just really have leaned on my teammates to help me get where I am right now.
It's fantastic. Uh, we got to talk about the end of last year. You guys are one of the first four teams left out. A decision that us here at the 1012 do not agree with still to this day. You're getting close to the end of this season. How much of being left out last year was motivation for the team this year?
It was quite literally our whole focal point in the fall. It was something we talked about constantly. I think the second we were all together last year when we watched the bracketing, and it was just gut wrenching to hear the last bracket being read out and you're not in it. Um, and it's a feeling that I never want to feel again. And it was a feeling that the rest of the returners didn't want to feel again. So over the summer, we all kind of came together and were like, it's not going to happen to us again. We're going to be there this year. We deserved to be there last year. but that's okay because you just gave us an even bigger reason to be there this year. So we really like pushed on that, and we kind of like pushed that same work ethic and mindset onto any of the newcomers that came in this year, and they took it and ran as well. Um, with all the freshmen that we have and transfers that we got in this year, they all equally bought into this plan that we had.
So how much are you guys watching like the RPI after each game? How much is Coach Eakin talking about it? Like how much of that is like, okay, what is it today? What is it? Refresh NCAA website.
Honestly, it's very much just a we win, we're gonna do well. We win, we're gonna go up. Like we don't personally look at the RPI and stuff like that. I'm sure the coaching staff is heavily, but it's not something that they stress onto us, and it's not something that we stress amongst each other. It's just we're gonna go out there and we're gonna kick butt, and that's gonna do enough.
Big series against Baylor this weekend. Just a couple series left. You got Baylor this weekend and Texas Tech to close out the regular season before the Big 12 tournament. You guys are going to be heading to Waco this weekend. What's the conversation right now? I know the normal coach speak game by game, just focus on what you can focus on. But like, what's the mindset you guys have right now as you prepare for a trip down to Texas?
I think after this past weekend being so electric, we all kind of feel like we could just run through a brick wall right now. Still, I think we're all kind of running on that high a little bit. Um, but there's been talk amongst the returners that last year when we played Baylor, it did not go our way in any of the games. And we feel like we're a lot better of a team this year, and we can really compete with them.
That's great. That's awesome. Yeah, I don't know how you come down from a high like you guys had to have had this past weekend with the way that series. And again, it's not just that you did something that was so incredible twice and then thoroughly beat them in game 3. It's that you did it against the most hated rivalry, in-state rival, Utah, first
Yeah.
Holy War in the Big 12 and softball, first since 2011. Like, okay, we talk about Holy War of football, obviously, and it's some of the conversation with basketball, with softball. Does it feel like it's as big of a rivalry across every sport as it is portrayed on the football field?
I think so. I mean, we made it out to that in the locker room. We were like, we're not losing. Like, this is the rival. This is who we want to beat. Last year, we played them in an out of conference series in a midweek game, and we lost by 1, and that just like fueled the hatred. And that was my first game against Utah, and when I stepped on the field, I was like, I'm going to beat you in every single way possible. And we didn't get to do that last year, so this year we said there's no way we're losing.
I love rivalries. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that Holy War is a conference series in the Big 12. It's so fun for all of us from the outside perspective, and I'm sure it's fun of it being a conference series now. Okay, first of all, Lily, you've been awesome. This has been fantastic. It's great to chat with you. I got a few quick questions before we let you go, just for some fun. We've been asking these for every coach and player we've had on this season. So, number one, what is your walk-up song?
I have 2. So my first one is The Sweet Escape by Gwen Stefani, and then my second one is Let's Get It Started by the Black Eyed Peas.
Okay, all right. Bring some good energy as you walk out there. Peanut butter and jelly. What is your jelly of choice?
Probably grape. We usually have grape crustables in the dugout during games, so that's my go-to.
I just say like Crustables. It's really funny how many like I'm using air quotes kids foods. The adults are like, no, children, you go eat that. We're gonna keep Crustables. And have you had Dino Nugs?
Yes, absolutely. I
Oh,
have some in my freezer right now. My roommate, I love them all the time.
yeah. I'm always make a few extra when I make them for the girls, and it's like, oh, you're not gonna eat all these, so I'll finish them off for you.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, would you rather? I mean, you have done this, but I'll be curious. Would you rather hit a walk off or rob a walk off at the wall?
I got asked this question by our pitcher, Case and Korth, on Saturday. I, at this moment, would rather rob a home run because I've never done it. So I really would like to experience that.
I mean, you've done one, so now you got to
Yeah.
get the other one off the checklist. Of course, that makes sense. That makes total sense. So NBA playoffs are going on right now. You are a Lakers girl, as I understand
Yeah,
correctly. Okay. Uh, are the Lakers going to win this first round series?
absolutely. Dive
Absolutely.
gold and purple, like always, they will win everything.
How far are they going?
All the way.
all the way. Okay,
all the way.
okay. Yeah. Congrats on Luca. I'm sure you're still
Thank you.
enjoying
Yes, I
that quite
am.
a bit.
I am.
Nothing wrong with being the recipient of one of the worst trades of all time, but uh, okay. Last one. Who is the biggest trash talker on this team?
um, it definitely can switch. I'm pretty big with it. Elovea Brittingham also enjoys some of the trash talking. We've gotten in trouble a few times for it this year, both of us at separate occasions. So we just kind of pass it back and forth on who's feeling it a little bit more that day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's a question. I've been debating getting some of the players that I've had their names mentioned a couple times on the
Mm-hmm.
show to see if we can have a trash talk off. But I'm trying to figure out like how you're not in the game, you're not in the moment. Like, how do you get yourself hyped up to really get? What's your method for saying like, okay, it's me today, and I know what I'm gonna do?
Um, I think it's just more of like in the moment of who's who, but when it comes to like what I'm gonna say, I don't ever have anything like pre-prepared for anybody. Um, it's just kind of I see it, I say it type of thing.
Okay.
Um, so that's kind of how it works.
All right. All right. Good to know. All right. Good to know. Lily, you have been awesome. Thank you so much. This was fantastic. Good luck to your team for the rest of the season. I fully expect to see your name called when regionals are announced this year. I'm gonna send some very sternly written letters. Fingers crossed. Absolutely. So good luck at Waco this weekend. And again, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you. Appreciate it.